You might be wondering, what is the best platform to start creating content for your business or personal brand? As blogging, Instagram, and Twitter/X all remain in a strange cycle of unreliability, what's the next best step for generating traffic online? Considering the only platform that I create on is YouTube, you probably know my answer. So let's dive into the three main reasons why I believe video is the best form of content to create for your personal brand. What's up? My name is Eric. I am a photographer and filmmaker that is now on the journey of helping you create better content. If you are interested in learning, teaching, and building a business that you love, consider subscribing to stay tuned with more videos. Today, I'm going to be talking about why I decided to start creating video content on YouTube for building my personal brand. I feel that there's a lot of discussion around this topic of which platform should I start building and creating content on. And really, I think there's not a right answer to this question. I believe that each person has different talents and gifts that allow them to create better content on different platforms. So for example, if you are a gifted writer, you might want to start creating content on Twitter/X, LinkedIn, or maybe even something like Medium, or on your own personal blog. Whereas if you are good with video and design and photography, you might want to start with something like YouTube or Instagram. My whole journey mostly started on Instagram. This was back in the heyday of Instagram, circa like 2016, somewhere around that mark, back when it was actually a good platform. This was the best place to be, and I really love sharing my work on Instagram because that's where a lot of photographers were. That's where a lot of photographers were learning. That's where a lot of photographers were growing and were able to make an actual job or career out of their photography because of this platform. It was at the same time that I was also creating vlogs on my YouTube channel at the time. And this was basically just a way to document my high school days and just kind of bring the camera along with me on some of the adventures that I was going on. And realistically, this was how I learned to edit video. This is how I learned to use a camera effectively. Fast forward 5 or 6 or 7 years, and that brings us to the end of 2023. We had just recently moved across the country, and I was looking for a new way to create and to share the things that I had learned in the past 5 years at the agency that I worked at and throughout the past 10 years of using a camera. I really love learning and I really love sharing the things that I'm learning. So that has kind of snowballed into me realizing that I love education and I love teaching and I love creating these videos that bring value to people who are interested in these types of subjects. I believe that one of the most important things that you can do as an expert or at least somebody who's passionate in a certain field is to share the things that you're learning about. When doing this, a lot of people feel like they're imposters or they are not in a position that they can share. But I believe that everyone should share the things that they're learning and the things that they know. I believe everyone should share the knowledge that they have because it is beneficial to somebody who is behind you on your path. Even if you aren't trying to impact a million people with the videos you're creating, I still think that teaching the things that you're learning is the best way to ingrain those things into your mind and to just set yourself up to learn them in the best way. So with all that being said, that brings me to point number 1 in why I chose to create video content for my personal brand, and that is that video came most naturally to me. As I mentioned earlier, video has been a big part of my life for 10 plus years, and it's just something that I've always been interested in doing. As a kid, I would steal my brother's camcorder and I would document anything that my friends and I were doing, whether we were jumping on the trampoline, snowboarding, skateboarding, or just doing something stupid. I wanted to bring the camera along and document that process. And eventually, later on in life, I decided to pursue photography and video as a career. And so it's just something that I've always continued to do throughout the years. Along with this point, I would say that video is probably my favorite form of content to consume. I love watching YouTube videos. I love watching movies. I love watching shows. If you enjoy consuming a certain type of content, that might be the type of content that you would enjoy creating. Point number 2 is that I believe video is the most authentic form of creating. For example, I believe that YouTube is the most authentic social media platform. I feel like things like Instagram, Twitter, whatever else these kids are using these days just don't really feel super authentic. It doesn't really feel like you connect with the creator. It doesn't really feel like you're a part of anything as the viewer. And I believe YouTube hits all those things and does it well. One of the most important parts of video content in YouTube is that you're able to spend the most quality time with your viewers and with your audience. And I think that goes a long way. For example, on Instagram, you might spend anywhere from 5 to 30 seconds watching a video, whereas on YouTube, I would say the absolute minimum that you're going to watch a video is 30 seconds to 2 minutes to anywhere from 30 minutes plus. Because of this, it's much easier to connect with your audience as a creator, and it's also much easier to connect with the creator as the audience. I would say that I feel a much more genuine connection to the people that I watch on YouTube versus the people that I follow on Instagram or Twitter. And just a little side note here is that I actually believe that YouTube is a fantastic platform to start with. Contrary to popular belief, I think that is a great place to start. It's a great place to grow. It might not be the easiest to start on, but I do believe that it is the best. And finally, number 3 is that video is most often the form of educational content. If you watch any of my other videos, you probably know that I love educational content. I believe it is the best form of content to create, and I believe it is the best form of content to consume as well. Don't get me wrong, I do watch some entertainment videos, but for the most part, I would say I watch 80% plus of educational videos, podcasts, or blog posts, anything like that. For whatever reason, that's just the way my brain works. I love nonfiction books. I love movies that are based on true stories. And I love watching videos that are going to help me learn something or teach me about something new. I think that the current state of YouTube and video content in general kind of feels like the older days of blogging, kind of the golden era of blogging, where people were just sharing things that they knew about, things they were learning about, and just kind of using it as a platform for teaching others what they know and building a community out of it. Because of this, I love creating video content. I love connecting with viewers, and I love just documenting my process in general of what I'm creating and how it's affecting my life. On this point, I would also say that it's easiest for me to learn something new by watching a video about it versus reading an instruction manual that has illustrations in it or something like that. It's just so much easier to look something up on YouTube, look it up on Google, and watch a video about it, stop and pause the video as much times as you need, and learn something new that way instead of reading a post and trying to find what's relevant. So those are my 3 points of why I believe video is the best form of creation for your personal brand. But how does all of this connect to your personal brand specifically? For me personally, the 3 pillars of a personal brand are sustainability, authenticity, and sharing what you know. And most importantly, all 3 of these pillars fit directly into the reasons that I love video. So for number 1, which is sustainability, for me personally, creating videos is the most natural form of creation, and therefore it is the easiest for me to do sustainably. When it feels most natural for you to do, that is going to be the form of creation that is best for you to do long term. Number 2, being authenticity. I think that video is the best form of sharing authentically. It's the best way to connect with your viewers, and it's the best way to connect with other creators because it shares so much of your life. It shares so much of your experience. YouTube is a great place for sharing with vulnerability and making genuine connections with people. And for number 3, which is sharing what you know or teaching what you've learned, video is the best form of educational content. Think about the last time that you learned something new. Where did you go to learn that thing? I would assume it was probably a video that you watched, or maybe it was a reel or a short form video that taught you something new. Hopefully this video helped touch on some important points about why video creation might be a great place to start your personal brand. If you would like to know more about this, I recently created a task list of my entire video creation process from start to finish and turned it into a Notion template. If you'd like to download that for free, check the link in the description. Creating videos and sharing them online has totally changed my life, and I think that it is an awesome place to start your personal brand as well. It's my goal with this channel to help you create educational content for your personal brand or business. So please subscribe and like this video if you want to see more videos like this. I also have a couple other free resources down in the description below, including my weekly newsletter called the Stoke Seminar and my free course called the Content Clarity Crash Course. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking the time to do so. I will see you in the next video. My name is Eric. Peace.